Hey, I'm Milan, and welcome to Volume 2 of the Course Podcast.
And it's Pierre Jerome. Pierre Jerome has plenty of space. Just her and Ben. Pierre Jerome, her second of the
Welcome back to the course. My name is Milan Pierre Jerome, and I'm here with my teammate, pro soccer player, Haitian national team soccer member, Claire Constant.
Hi.
How are you? How's everything?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Good. You know, living.
Living life. Living like Larry.
Good. But no, like I missed you. I haven't seen you in a minute.
I know. It's been a long time.
It's been, you know.
And we live 35 minutes away from each other.
Away, but it's okay because we're here.
We're here right now.
We're here right now, and that's all that matters.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
But, you know, I had to have you come on here. You have a great story. You're a great leader and player.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, let's. But no, I had to have you on here and just have people hear about your journey to where you are now. So if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me open up. I'm scared I'm going to start crying. So if I do that, guys, I'm really sorry. This is my first time since getting injured. So
it's okay.
So sorry.
All right. So let's just go to early life. You were born in Alexandria, Virginia.
Well, I was born in Boston, but
okay.
I moved to Alexandria after 10 months. So grew up there.
So grew up. Okay. And you have a sister?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are close?
She's my best friend. Love her.
Good.
Shout out Christiana.
Good. And what's your ethnicity like with your parents?
My mom was born and raised in Massachusetts, so she's white, American. And then my father was born in Mirabel, Haiti, and grew up in Haiti and came here when he was 17. So Haitian American.
Good. Okay. And after that, you started playing soccer when?
I started playing soccer as soon as I could walk. My dad had a ball in my crib, so really early on.
Okay. And did he play soccer, or was it just something he was just like, I want you to play?
He played like recreationally growing up, but his focus was going to school, getting a job. So he did have to, you know, focus on all that. So he didn't play seriously.
And when do you feel like it really like became a love for you?
I want to say like very, very early on. I kind of knew it was kind of always an intense feeling when I was on the field. And I played other sports, but like soccer was the number one always.
What other sports did you play?
I played a lot. I seriously played basketball up until like high school, like middle of high school. But I've played lacrosse, field hockey, volleyball. I did a little bit of gymnastics. I did dance.
Dance. Yes. Claire's a good dancer.
No, guys, I thought I was. And then one of my teammates at UVA was like, when I was a freshman, she was like, Claire, you have zero rhythm. And since then, like, I can't dance. I can't dance.
Remember when they posted us? We were hitting the gritty. And
that was tough. That was tough. That was tough.
But continue. Okay, dance.
I don't remember what else I've played. Oh, like a little bit of baseball / softball. But yeah, I've kind of tried everything, but it was always soccer.
So like you just did those like recreational, like it was just like, it wasn't anything serious. Soccer was really the only thing you took like serious with doing travel with that.
Yeah, I did travel lacrosse for like a little bit. I think it was like club lacrosse for a little bit. And then I did club basketball for a long time. But yeah, soccer.
Okay. And so where'd you go to high school?
T.C. Williams High School, go Titans.
And you got Gatorade Player of the Year there?
I did 2017 and 2018.
And how was high school for you?
It was good. I mean, I wasn't the most focused on my academics. But it was nice. I had really great teachers. T.C. Williams was a great experience, very diverse, which, you know, helped with being well-rounded, I would say. Good experience overall.
That's good. And then after that, when did you start looking at schools? Like when were you starting the recruiting process?
Yeah, so I know it's changed now, but back in the day when I was looking at schools, so long ago, really truly, there was no like age limit. Like you could look at schools at any age. So from at 8th grade, I got my first interest from, I think it was like Kentucky or something.
Wow.
So it was like from 8th grade, and then I committed sophomore year. So that time was when I was really looking at colleges.
Okay. And so you were going on visits as a freshman, or unofficial, but you were going on visits. So what other schools were you looking at?
I was really deciding between Penn State and UVA.
Okay.
But I went to Boston College and looked there because I'm born in Boston, family's in Boston. I don't think I really did any other visits.
Okay.
I like would talk to coaches, but I really didn't do much visiting.
So wait, why did you leave, going back for a second, why did you leave Boston to come to Virginia?
I think just my parents' job. I think, my dad was going to the seminary. He's now a priest.
Okay.
And so he was doing seminary in Alexandria.
Okay. So then what made you choose UVA? Like why? Because sophomore year is young. Like,
no, it's crazy. It's actually insane.
Sophomore year is like, how old are we?
15 years old, choosing my college.
I committed sophomore year too. So
yeah, that's
I was
insane.
Like,
what did we know about life at that age?
College. Like I was still going into high school, so I was a little bit, but what made you know?
Yeah, good question. Okay. So honestly, like, this is going to sound bad, but once again, I was 15 and I just was choosing like the top soccer school at the time, if I'm being completely honest. Like, and that is so insane to think about because obviously there are so many other things that are so important about school. But it ended up being the most perfect place for me, which is wild. And I'm so thankful.
And it's good because it's still in Virginia. Your family can go to every game.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. That's perfect. So then once you got through high school, I'm sure like everyone's like, she committed as a sophomore. Like you were that girl, basically.
I don't want to say that. I really was not that girl. I can tell you that. Gosh.
But so you got through high school, and then were you like excited senior year to go into college? Were you like nervous? What were your feelings towards that?
Yeah. I would say I was nervous. It was crazy because the day I graduated was like June 17th, and for UVA you had to come in early. You had to come in for like summer session 1, and so I had to go to UVA the next day.
Wow.
Because summer session, like, that's when we were supposed to report.
That's
so
crazy.
I didn't really have time to get nervous or like really feel any type of way about it, which I'm very thankful for because I get very overwhelmed and I overthink everything, and I didn't have time to do that.
Right.
So it was a nice, like, easy transition.
So when you were recruited to UVA, were you a center back when they?
Yes.
Okay.
I was playing forward for my like high school for TC Williams, but for my club team, I was a center back.
So were you always a center back from? Okay.
Yeah, which is like crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes I'd go play forward. I would kind of demand to go play forward, but sometimes I'd get thrown up there. But really, I was a center back.
And that's always been like what you've wanted, like that role as a center back.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to be. Yeah. I want the fame and the glory. I want to score some goals.
Playing when you were like dribbling through. Who was that? I don't remember.
That was like Moldova.
Yes. But you were like, everyone was like, whoa, Claire can low-key be a 9. Like
don't even tempt me because I am on the journey to becoming a 9. Mark my words.
I saw it, but no, that's good because as a 9, like you really know as a center back what the 9 wants to do.
Exactly.
So it's like perfect as a center back. You already know how to read the 9. So it's like you might as well play the 9 too. You could be, But anyways, so then in college, get to college. How was preseason? Freshman year.
Hard, but doable, manageable.
Okay.
We had like 6 a.m. lifts, and if you knew me in high school, I wasn't getting up before 8:30 ever, not even for school. So 6 a.m. lift was a wake up call, but it was good. I had good people coming in with me. I was only 2 other girls at that point because one had like done a year early and one had come in a semester early. Okay. So it was me and 2 other girls, and it was nice. It was like we got to do everything together. And it was manageable. It was hard, but it was good.
And were you like, you had the same coach all year. So that was something that, I haven't, I'm on my 5th coach. So
that's insane.
So that's something that,
I haven't experienced like a coaching shift until I got to professional, like mid-season coaching shift until I got to professional league. And that is insane. So
Yeah.
I feel for you, and
Yeah.
I'm genuinely like, you're amazing. You deserve all the props, because that's the hard thing to handle.
No, yeah. But I mean, I think like as far as that, it's just something that, you know, you have to just learn things. You just have to be adaptable.
Yeah.
Like,
Open-minded.
quickly. Yeah. And I
Coachable.
think like just adapting, honestly, because obviously it's hard, but just looking at it like, you know, it is what it is. You got to just move.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So freshman year, I know you had a big role as a freshman. Like, you were doing your thing, and how was that? Well, I mean, you were getting minutes. You were getting a lot of time as a freshman. But how was that? Like, what, you know, as a freshman, like, I remember coming in, just being like, okay, like, they're senior, fifth year, sixth year at that point, like.
Yeah.
In my position, you know, in different positions. So it's like very like, okay, like I have to be an all-star at practice because how else am I going to play? Yeah. So I remember like putting myself under a lot of pressure. But how would you, I
think I did the opposite. Okay. I kind of went in like, I'm not going to expect anything.
That's good.
And my coach at UVA, he's amazing. And he, you know, he doesn't play based on seniority or based on your name. He plays if you're good and working hard. And so, I mean, my freshman year went up and down. I was doing well at the start, and then I had I had 2 games, and I remember them vividly, where I got 0 minutes and then like 6 minutes. Okay. And then my minutes started going up. Towards the end of the season, I was playing 70 minutes again. And the seniors were terrifying. Coming into that was a very scary group of seniors. Love you all, but you know who you are. You're very scary.
Like, as far as like just like being on the field, like demanding of you, or just like
demanding. And I don't think like on the field they were like unfairly demanding, which I think helped as well. It was nice to have, you know, clearly people who wanted to win and were passionate about it. Right. But then also like off the field, like they were like, we run this. Right. And I know like sometimes, you know, teams like coaches don't love that, or teams don't love that, because it can create not necessarily the best environment. And we do pride ourselves in our culture at UVA. Right. But I think for that team, and it worked in a weird way. Yeah. It worked because we respected them and we wanted to do well.
And so when you were coming in and you were saying that you were just, you know, what can I expect? Do you feel like that is what really helped you, like, you know, grow throughout the season? You said that, you know, your minutes went up. Like, what do you think was that like turning point for you?
Yeah, I think I just trusted my ability. Like I was playing outside back, I think were a lot of my minutes. So I just said that I only played center back, but now that I'm thinking back, I was playing outside back a lot. Okay. Which was kind of new to me. And I also think that might have helped, because it was like, I didn't feel as much pressure, because I was like, oh, I'm not expected to do necessarily so well. It's not my position. But I think I was just kind of carefree, and I wouldn't say I necessarily developed over the course of my season. But I think it was more of a mental thing than anything. And I had one older teammate who, when I was in a really hard spot, when I was getting those 0 minutes, you know, I remember her writing me a letter and giving me a bracelet that was just kind of like, just breathe. Like, you're going to be okay. Have confidence. And I was crying in my hotel room. We were on an away trip. And it just meant a lot to me, and I think that helped as well. Yeah. So if you're a senior or a leader on your team, be kind to your freshmen.
Be very kind.
Appreciate it,
because you never know.
You never know what someone's going through.
No, but like honestly, like anyone, because I'm sure her life wasn't, you know, perfect.
Yeah.
But for her to just be able to do something that's good, because, you know, as girls, like, it's always like competitive, you know, like, it's just not, it's never like, I want you to, you know. So that's
it can be hard to have someone build you up in this day and age. It can be tough being a woman, but so it's nice when someone does build you up.
And then just as far as like student life, like, did you like Virginia? Like,
I loved it. I had so much fun my freshman year. It was nice because, sorry, I'm moving. It's okay. It was nice because, so when I was going to like pick a roommate, one of my teammates was coming in, had a friend and from her town who she was like gonna room with in college. And that normally for soccer, like you room with soccer.
Right,
That's
right,
kind of
right.
how my coach always had done it.
Right.
But for some reason he let her be the exception, which then I was like, okay, well, I want to room with someone. So I found someone through social media.
Okay.
And it was really, really, really nice not
good.
living with an athlete because it just opened up a whole new world for me. And so I made like a really nice group of friends my freshman year that were not, or some were football, one was basketball, and a couple were just non-athletes. So it was really nice freshman year. And then I got a boyfriend and I was horrible and I just not ditched, but I just like let my friendships like dissipate, which looking back really sucks. But I was young, I was in love, you know? you think this is your whole world in that time. But no, it was fun. I was very social, and I feel like in high school I wasn't as social. Like I had a big friend group, but I wasn't like, I don't know, I wasn't in the scene all the time. So I think for me, I was like, friends, like these are my good friends, like let's go, you know.
Yeah, that's good. And you had like a good bond with your team as well. So it was like you had the best of both worlds, because you know it's good not having a roommate that's your teammate. Like obviously you love your teammates, but it's always soccer. When you're in season, you're playing a game, you're going to practice, you're going to the hotel, you're traveling, like you're always with your teammates. And like sometimes you
need a break.
You don't need to always talk about soccer.
No, you need, and especially because it's like they're like everyone's gonna annoy you at some point. Like the reality of life and being on a team is that your teammates are going to annoy you at some point, whether or not you're like your best friends in the whole wide world, they're gonna annoy you. So literally up until I played 5 seasons at UVA, my first 4 years there, I lived at least with someone not on my team.
Okay.
And then my 5th year, all my roommates were on my team, which it was still really, that was really nice because my 5th season.
Right.
So.
And it's your last season. And
So that was really, really nice. It worked out very well.
That's good. And then after your freshman year, going into your sophomore year, how was that? How was that next season?
Gosh, I feel like some of that's blacked out. Like, I don't remember when was our COVID season, when our COVID season happened, but I want to say it was maybe it was 3rd year.
Okay.
But things were fine socially.
What about, did you have an injury? Was it,
I had a couple ankle injuries.
Okay.
Nothing like too crazy. Just like high ankle sprains, which took me out a couple of weeks. But
when was that transition from outside back to center back?
My 2nd year, I want to say. And then that's when so I was playing center back and I was just not developing. Like I said, I kind of was just plateauing, and with that, my confidence was kind of plateauing as well. And a freshman center back came in and he started to, start her or like I would start, like we would play, I would start different positions or it was just not consistent for me anymore.
Right.
Which was very hard to deal with, but I think it made me grow.
Yeah.
I don't know if at that time I was taking all the lessons I should have from it.
Right.
But I think looking back, it made me grow.
And then COVID was probably your junior year.
Gosh, COVID.
How was COVID for you? Everyone's COVID experience is like, it's either good or it's bad. Like I feel like I had a good COVID experience just because, like, I don't even know. It was just good for me.
Yeah.
But what was your...
Oh, so, I mean... being home, so we were home for that. Yeah, so it was the spring of my 2nd year and then going into the 3rd year. So spring I was home.
Okay.
And then we had voted basically if we wanted to play the fall season.
Okay.
So we had voted that we wanted to play.
Would this count towards your eligibility?
No, you would get an extra year.
Okay, okay. But
yeah, so that's how I played my 5th season.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So... that was also the summer of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Okay.
That was all going on, which we as a team had a lot of talks about it. And I think it was just a lot going on going into a season with people of very different backgrounds, very different viewpoints, very different opinions. And it's hard as an 18 to 20 something year old to know what you want to fight for exactly. Like I don't know I don't want to say too much, but there were tensions at times, I want to say,
between you and your teammates.
But my coach, I think, did a good job of keeping the conversation going and making sure us, there were, I think, three Black women on the team at the time, which is not a big amount, but he made sure that our voices were heard and that he heard us, which was important. But, you know, COVID is serious. The Black Lives Matter movement was serious. And we went to that season and we did well. Like, I think the tension almost helped us.
Yeah, really.
It was, I think everyone was just like very passionate. Like it was, I mean, also we could only focus on soccer at that moment. Like you weren't really going to classes and you weren't allowed to see anyone outside of your teammates. So the focus was 100% on soccer. And also like, we were like, if we're going to be here, we might as well go in and win it. I think that year we went to the Final Four. No, Elite Eight, Final Four. Okay. Final Four. Went to the Final Four.
Okay. So after, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But it was like that season that it was like, the ACC played in the fall, and then the NCAA tournament was in the spring.
Okay.
Which was
okay.
Yeah.
So who won that? Was that Stanford that year, or was that? I don't remember who won that year.
Maybe UNC.
I don't remember.
I think Florida State.
Okay.
I think Florida State, but I could be wrong.
Well, how was the College Cup? That's crazy. How was that?
That's the thing. It was COVID, so we didn't go anywhere.
Wow,
yeah,
that's true.
So we didn't get like a bank, which like I think I'm okay with. I don't know if I want to be like dressed up with everyone in a room. But no, wait, let me not say that out loud because I am sad that we didn't get to go to the College Cup, guys. I really am. But I don't know what I'm missing out on because we've never been before, you know?
Yeah.
But it was insane. Like I remember this is so weird, but it was COVID, like I said. So COVID spring was still very serious. So we were in hotel rooms and everyone I think had their own room for the College Cup. I think we were in North Carolina and I just remember like crying in my room. I just like had become so overwhelmed with emotion. I was like, I'm in the College Cup and my family gets to be here and see me play. Like
pinnacle of college soccer.
It's so crazy. And there's a pandemic going on, but like we get to be here and we get to play, and that's really, really special. So no, we didn't win, but it was still really special.
Yeah, no, that's good. And so once that happened, was it something where, do you feel like when you were playing, like not having a lot of people in the stands, were like, was that affecting you, or was it just something that?
Yeah, it honestly was a little bit of it was hard because obviously like, I mean, when you go to North Carolina and that's where the College Cup, if you guys don't know, the College Cup is held in North Carolina every year. So I think we played UNC in the semifinals that year. And so there was a lot of their fans, and it normally is a lot of their fans. So not being able to have like a lot of our fans come out was definitely challenging. But a lot of the parents came. We always had a great parent group in my 5 years there. So very grateful for you parents.
That's good. And then, you know, you went into your senior year. So that's when you were back in action. You know, COVID wasn't there. You know, there is not many restrictions. So how was that, your fourth year?
I don't know why I'm blanking on my fourth year too, but was my fourth year.
We can mix like your fourth and fifth year too.
Let's talk about my fifth year.
What made you want to do your fifth year?
Good question. I just didn't feel done.
Okay.
Which is, it's hard to explain that feeling, but I just didn't feel done. And I thought I would be. I never ever imagined like taking a redshirt year or like doing an extra year, but I didn't feel done. And all my class was coming back. So I was like, let's just go. Yeah. And we all came back and we made it to the Elite Eight that year, lost to UCLA, which is sad. That sucked.
It's okay.
But
hey, you're going far. Like
no, yeah. Let me be clear. I'm very grateful. We were great.
A lot of teams. But.
No, let me be very clear. I just love to win. Yeah. So it's really hard when we don't. But it is really, really special to be in the tournament and make it that far. And so we went and played UCLA in California over Thanksgiving. Okay. It was like during that time. I think my family came. Gosh, they're the best. They really are.
Always coming.
They flew to UCLA.
Wow.
Yeah, which is amazing. But yeah, my fifth year, but when that was done, I was like, okay, I'm ready to move on now. Right. But it was nice being a fifth year senior because I was taking 2 classes. it was very nice and easy, breezy. I could just focus on soccer. And
You were taking Creole class?
I was taking Creole.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, I sure was. And that was out of Duke, so that was cool. But what was I going to say? Yeah, no, 5th year. I mean, I wish looking back with all that time I had focused on like, you know, doing extra stuff outside of the team. And, you know, that mindset didn't come until this injury, which I don't know if 24 minutes in, but we'll get to that. So yeah, looking back, I wish I had taken the time that I had in my 5th year to like really, you know, hone in on my skills, my technical, my fitness, my strength. But it was still, I had a lot of fun. Yeah. So it was still special and I really enjoyed it.
Last year of college, you know, you're enjoying it. And so when you were in college, you decided to play for the national team. That's where we met. But so what made you want to play for Haiti and start that journey?
Yeah. So I don't know why I'm literally going crazy at this moment. So I kind of always knew growing up that Haiti was potentially an option in the back of my head, but there wasn't really a team to look up to at that moment. It's like Haiti was playing, there was women's teams, there was youth teams that were playing for sure, but it wasn't, coming from the US, being in the US, I was kind of blinded by just the US because obviously the US is a powerhouse. So I thought that was the only path to go. And I think it was my senior year, that I had someone reach out to me. I think it was literally through Instagram DM or something wild that was like, are you Haitian? And I was like, I actually am.
I'm Haitian.
I sure am. How'd you know? And he was like, would you want to play for the Haitian national team? And I was like, you know what? I really would. And it's really crazy because I don't think that like any moment before that in my life, I would not have been ready. I would not have been wanting to take on this challenge and go play with a whole group of people who I'd literally never met before. And it's like when you're playing in the US and I grew up going to a couple of US youth camps, you know everyone just because it's like the soccer world.
Right. They grow up in the, yeah.
So it's like, or like you're someone else from Virginia is being invited, you know, but in this case, I really didn't know anyone and didn't have any connection to anyone on the team. But that being said, great experience and got to meet, you know, such amazing people like you and have made really great friendships through that. But someone reached out to me and then next thing I know, we are in Costa Rica getting ready to play for, what was it, like CONCACAF qualifiers, which is
Do you remember when remember when we were on the phone and I because we called and you were like, hi. I was like, hi, Claire. Like, and I was just telling you, like, you know, just like what it meant, you know, for me. And and you were, you know, you're like, I'm nervous. I'm like, you'll be good. Yeah. And then you killed it. You went into, that's when we went into Costa Rica. And that's just funny. Like looking back, like we had no idea. I had no idea who you were. Like you didn't know who I was. We were just on the phone.
Chatting on the phone. And you told me like not traditional tips, but your tips were very, very helpful. Like I don't want to get into the specifics, but I just want to say that you were spot on. And I want to give you props for that because it was very unique to the team itself. And it really wasn't like there weren't tips about soccer necessarily because that's but with this team it's you know, it's about the culture and the camaraderie and you're spot on. So thank you for your amazing tips.
You're welcome. Listen, like I gotta be a helpful hand. But
no, you were.
No, but so then we went into Costa Rica. We were there for 2 weeks, and that's when we were roommates. We were roommates, and so how would you say like that first summer, because we were there the whole entire summer, how would you say that was?
That's insane. Like guys, my first camp with this team, with the senior Haitian women's national team, was almost a month-long camp, essentially. We went from Costa Rica to Mexico. Probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, you know, you're going to a new country. You're joining a team where you don't speak the language. and the coach speaks a different language as well.
Right.
So we were there. We played Costa Rica twice while we were there. The first game, that was my first game ever with Haiti, was against Costa Rica. And I remember that feeling that I started that game and I walked out, and it was my first time ever with the senior national team, first of all. And they played the anthem and just walking out, like that is
chills.
That was literally like, I can't even
Chills.
describe that feeling, but it's one of the best feelings I'll ever experience in my entire life.
Once they start, playing our, like, it's just like you're about to play, like there's like so much behind like that crest. Yeah. And it's like, I'm literally getting like chills right now. It's just like, you can't describe it. Like when you're about to play, like it's not just you playing, it's the country.
Exactly. You have every single person in that country on your back in that moment of time. It may say Constant, it may say Pierre Jerome, but it's every single last name in that country on your back.
And that's the thing about us. Like if you watch us play, we look like we've been playing for like 30 years together. Like, because it's just like, we have so much to stand for that it's like, if I know you can do this, I'm going to let you do this. Yeah. If Coventina can do this, I'm going to let Coventina do this. You know, like we just like know, like it's not just a game. Yeah. Like it's
quite literally not a game.
It's not it's not like the meetings before, like we are just like so like devoted.
Yeah. It's make or break literally every single time we step on the field.
There's not a friendly. Like,
no.
It's not like there's honestly never friendly. Like it's really just because even the friendlies, Haiti's watching. Yeah. And it's like everything that, the country's been through, like, it's just like, we're like the sense of hope. Yeah. And, when you come in, they're supporting you. Yeah. When we're like, it's just like, you always feel it despite whatever else is going on. Right. And it's just like, again, like you just can't describe that moment. Like every time.
No. And I will say, like, no matter what was necessarily going on within the camp, like the Haitian fans welcomed me into this team like I had been playing there my entire life. And even now, as I go through this injury, so many people will DM me, message me, find my email. Like they will, when I go live, they're every single person's on my I gotta stop going live. That's not even funny at this point.
You're good and you're really pretty.
I need to stop going live. But they are constantly asking me how I'm doing when I'm returning, saying that they're behind me, saying that they believe in me, and it really keeps me going. And through camp, it really kept me going when I would face struggles and I would face obstacles in camp and felt like I couldn't do this anymore. Yeah. Knowing that the country had my back was so helpful.
And what does that mean to you? Just being able to, you were a huge role in helping the team qualify for the first ever Women's World Cup. But like, what does that mean? Like, we can't even get to that moment yet. We can't even get there yet. We're not going to even talk about that yet. But like, what does that mean for you?
It was just an overwhelming sense of pride and hope, like you said. I think for me, it just meant it meant a lot to me because it felt like I was impacting others. Yeah. And I don't know, like, I guess I felt like my soccer playing up until that point was almost just for me. But like even my dad and I got way more connected through this journey, through this process. And I was proud to play for him and proud to play for even just our teammates as well. Like, I think obviously we've had very different experience from them growing up and learning more about their stories, learning more about them through these camps, qualifying for the first ever World Cup for Haiti. Like that, like
can we talk about that? Like we need to
that needs its own moment. That needs its own moment.
We just need to talk about that day. Like just like waking up every day leading up to that. Like even in January, like I was like, we're really like I knew we were gonna play that game. Like from the first day in January, I knew we were gonna play against. Like I knew that was gonna happen. Like I knew it was gonna happen. So
that's
like
crazy.
when we beat Senegal, like. I was like, okay, like we were supposed to do that. Yeah. Now it's like, this is what I don't know. Yeah. Like, this is like the last, before we get to the real pinnacle.
Yeah.
So like, can we just like walk?
Yeah,
through that?
no,
Like,
we need to.
Can we just like,
to.
what was your thoughts? Like, I know you're getting a lot of texts, like good luck. Like, what was that for you?
Yeah, because we were in New Zealand,
We were in New
so
Zealand.
the time difference is crazy.
Yes.
But I remember still so many people saying that they were going to watch, and I was definitely I mean, I get nervous almost before almost every single game.
Yeah.
But I remember that game being like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness
Butterflies,
gracious. But it was also like, you know, I had Chelsea plays next to me, and you know, before the game, she's always like very sturdy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
she doesn't get rocked.
Yeah.
Which helps a lot.
Yes.
And same thing with you. Like, I feel like you're always very sturdy as well. So having people who were calming was very helpful going into it. And I kind of was just like, okay, just another game of soccer.
Yeah.
Just with everything on the line.
And it's like crazy because like I tell myself like you have to act like you've been here before.
Yeah.
But like
we've quite literally
I've never been there before.
before.
So it's like every time I go into a game or like a new practice or like a new training and like someone's watching me and I just act like you've been like I've never.
You have to literally fake it till you make it. And that's what we were doing.
Like, you know, just one more game and we're going to the World Cup, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been, you know, but
Well, and so Coven scores in the first half.
Yes.
And does her backflip. That was
1-0.
crazy. That was crazy. And oh my gosh, that was so much
We're
fun.
all
Just
running down the
to the corner.
sidelines.
Oh my gosh, crazy. I wish I had looked over to the sideline and seen how you guys were.
No, it was wild over there.
But I'm down there in the back, so I have to sprint all the way up.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get there, and you know, that was great. And then we score again in the second half.
2-0.
And you know, everyone was playing with passion. Oh, and our back line was a little bit different, I feel like, than normal. But everyone was playing with so much heart and passion. Like it was a lot of fun that game.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And I remember, I think we were up 2-0. We get scored on a corner or something like that. So it's 2-1 with like just a few minutes left to go. So it's obviously
Those few minutes that was like an hour.
I never need to experience that ever again.
That was the longest. What was that? 8 minutes
Yeah.
I've ever experienced in my life.
And with our team, we're gonna have minutes and minutes of extra time, knowing us. So of course,
and minutes of extra time.
I think there were 11 minutes of extra time in the Senegal game, so that's insane.
Yeah, and it was, you know, but yeah, that's life.
But then, so it's 2-1, and oh my gosh, I remember getting like kind of screaming in my ear, and I'm like, and I'm trying not to like, you know, we're trying to stay calm.
Do you remember when they hit the top post?
Oh yeah,
there was like
there
was like 2-3 minutes left, and they took a shot. I felt my heart just like hit the top post.
Oh yeah.
In that moment, I said, "We're winning this game."
Yeah.
I said,
I literally, God's got us. Like,
we're winning this game.
This is our game.
Every game, like, to get us to that point was just a battle.
Yeah.
Like, it was a dogfight.
Yeah.
Like, you know, some refs weren't on our side.
Yeah.
Time wasn't on our side. Hit the post 30 times.
Or we would defeat ourselves. It was a battle either way.
Either way, we were battling.
Yeah.
So we weren't gonna get a clear cut, you know.
Oh, never.
That's just not us.
No.
For us to be able to do that, like, I just remember sitting there and I'm holding Danny, like I'm holding Chelsea, like I'm looking at Nini. I'm like, this can't be real.
No, and hitting the crossbar, I remember, was like a wake up call for the back line.
Yeah.
We all like kind of looked at each other and we were like,
I was like,
guys, we got to stay locked in. This is a little bit too close for comfort.
Let's calm down.
Yeah.
No, but I just like, I remember like there was like the ref. She was like, she had, you know how the last seconds are like, and we're all just like holding each other, and you're just kicking the, like everyone's just kicking the ball.
We're like, just get it down.
We're not worried about possession.
No.
And then I see the ref start blowing that whistle. I said, "Oh my gosh!" I looked at it, bro. We just started like I'm shaking. Like I have never felt like that rush.
Yeah.
And like just.
No, like truly, and I think I thought I was gonna be like thrilled with myself and overwhelmed with emotion for myself, but I remember I started crying and I was thinking like, why am I crying right now? And I was just like proud of our team and proud of all we had accomplished in that moment, because trust me, it was not easy to get there. Like, and I had only been with the team for like half a year at that point, but in that half a year, like trials and tribulations for sure.
Yeah.
On and off the field, people back at their own home or, you know, in camp.
Yeah.
But I remember sobbing, and I remember, I think it was you and Danny or maybe you and Laura that came and hugged me, and we were just hugging each other, and we were just crying together.
Boo-hoo crying. I remember Pete just sliding on the floor and just I just remember, like, that was just, and like just the whole thing, like just being able to, because, you know, me and Danny, we've been playing. Yeah. So like, I'm just like looking at her, I'm like, there's literally no, like, we talked about this. Yeah. Like when I was like 14, like, for me to like talk about it and it like happens, you know, like you've been saying unreal. Since you started playing soccer, I want to go to the World Cup. Like, for you to like, you know, like be able to say that you were going to the World Cup is just, I don't know.
No, and I think that's another reason. Like, obviously, like I just said, I'd only been with the team for 6 months at that point, I want to say. But like, I had known you and Danny had really and Chelsea had put time in with this team. And so I wanted to, you know, I was proud to be on the field for you guys and for you guys to have accomplished that in yourselves. Like, it was just such a special moment. And I keep saying that, but it really,
like, indescribable.
Like for so many reasons, it was insane. Literally not real. And then we're grittying up.
We go in the locker room. We go on live, like the whole of Haiti's on. Everyone's live.
No, and Ketna and I had like barely. I mean, Ketna and I barely speak, and then in the locker room, she and I we're dancing.
Like everyone's throwing water. The coaches are going in the shower. Like do you remember
the shower? That is my favorite video of all time.
Just water, like just everywhere.
There's water being thrown everywhere. There's champagne.
Yes, it's everywhere. We're all just like
Peterson's cracking up. He is making sure all the champagne gets open.
Like he's like equipment.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Like this is
the shower was so insane. All of us, we were all in this all in the showers. Yeah. The coaches in the middle, they're jumping, and that was another thing. Like, I was so happy for them.
Yeah.
Because I know it has been easy for them as well.
Yeah.
And
it's just like everyone, like, just like as far like as a team, like everyone's like journey, like your journey, my journey, like just to get to that moment, like you knowing everything you've been through, like me, like it's just like. Just to be there. It's like, it was all worth it, you know?
And I think for me, like, the reason why I'm saying I realized I wasn't really crying for myself because I felt like I hadn't necessarily gone through as much. And like, if in 4 years, when you see us back at the World Cup,
right. Oh yeah.
After going through what I've gone through now, I'll be crying for myself for sure. Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah. But so let's
now that we've mentioned
it. So how has that been for you? Like, how has that experience with your ACL been?
Yeah, so like we just said, we qualified for the World Cup for the first time ever. I go back to my team in Portugal. I was playing professionally in Portugal. And in May, it was our last week of the season. We were playing Benfica. And I was excited because Benfica is obviously an insane team. They just tied Barcelona. And we were playing at Benfica, so the stadium was going to be insane. And I'm at practice, and I just take a step, and my knee gives. And
no contact?
No contact. I just take a step, and my knee gives, and it was non-contact, like I just said. And I didn't feel like I was in that much pain.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I'm okay.
So you didn't hear anything?
No, I didn't hear anything. I saw my knee. This is not to get graphic, but I saw it go in two different directions, which was scary. Yeah. But so my friends carry me off the field. I'm getting assessed. And she's kind of like, oh, it's meniscus. Which is not like too bad of a time. And then later that day I go back and she's like, it's actually just the LCL, which is that's not bad at all compared to ACL, meniscus, whatever. And the World Cup at this point in time was 2 months away. So I'm like, literally, I don't care. As long as I can play in the World Cup, I could have any injury in this moment in time, as long as I can play in the World Cup. Right. And obviously, like, even ACL, like if it's a partial tear, I think I still potentially would have had a chance, or like, I mean, it would have been risky, but she's saying it's absolutely not ACL. and I'm begging for an MRI just because it's a non-contact knee injury. So like MRI is usually the route to go. She's saying, no, there's no need. The club's saying, no, there's no need.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. So they're refusing basically to get me an MRI, even though I'm begging. I'm having my agents talk to them, and they're saying no. So after the last day of after our last practice, I booked myself a flight home I basically just booked myself a flight home after asking for one, and them kind of like not really getting back to me, but I'm like, I need to go start PT immediately. So I fly home. I go to a PT who was pretty well known in the area, who I'd seen like once before for something minor. And once again, at this point, I was told it was absolutely not ACL. So I go see him, and he's doing I think it's called like the Lockman's test, and he's just doing all these tests on my knee. And he's like, I think it's at least partially torn, your ACL. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I think it's your ACL. And he's like, let's get you an MRI. So I go to the car, my mom had driven me, and I'm like crying, because this is so wildly unexpected. And I call every connection I know to somehow see a knee surgeon as soon as possible to get the MRI. Like, I'm just trying to do everything I can within the next couple of days to get an MRI and get it seen by a surgeon. So I get the MRI, I see the surgeon, confirmed ACL torn, and then potentially meniscus as well, which they went in and confirmed it was meniscus as well, which is heartbreaking. It just like felt like I'd worked really hard up until that moment. And then like the one thing you wish for as a kid to go to the World Cup was being, I don't want to say taken from me, but and I was like, I'm not going through with the surgery. I'm done. I had told my mom that I was going to be done with soccer, and that I thought in that moment, I was like, I can't handle this. I'd kind of always said this. And if any of my friends know this, like I was always like, if I tear my ACL, I can't handle that. Like I could not deal with rehabbing for however long and going through that process mentally, physically. There's no chance I could deal with it. But after a couple days talking to my best friends, talking to my parents, talking to my trainers, I went through with the surgery. And God, I'm so grateful. Like genuinely, it's been 7 months since I've had surgery, and it has been the hardest 7 months, I want to say. And there were other factors. I went through some things that I never really imagined. My grandfather died. One of my childhood best friends died. And so it's things that you don't expect you're going to go through, especially while you're going through something so horrible already. But I am so much stronger than I was 7 months ago, mentally, physically, like emotionally. And while I don't wish this on anyone, and I wish it didn't happen to me, I am so grateful for the person that I've become since then. And I would not have had this complete mindset change, complete life change if it weren't for the injury. So I don't even know how I would have performed had I been at the World Cup. But and then I got to watch you guys at the World Cup, which was really, really special. My dad and I would wake up at 4 a.m. Early times in the US. But and we got to watch you guys play. So it was special getting to watch with him. And I thought it was going to be like bitter almost, which is like not the pretty side. That's like not what people talk about. I want to say it's hard to watch people go on. I mean, obviously I'm sure everyone's like, no shit, but people don't necessarily talk about that. But so it's hard, but I was just like happy and proud of you guys, and it was really cool. It was really like you guys, your first game was against England. That's sick. So it was really fun supporting you guys, and you guys did so well. It was really cool. So it was hard for me, but I was really proud of you guys. And I feel like I've stayed connected to the team since then, which has been really nice. I don't know who the new coach is. But hopefully one day I'll get to find out.
But we were definitely, as a team, we were just, we were playing. Of course, we were playing for the country, but we were playing for you too.
I'm gonna cry.
That's hard, and you were like a very, very important role on that team. So like not having you there, you were still there. Like you were still there in spirit. So it's just, I know it sucked. Like I know you didn't wish for that to happen, but we were behind you. And those moments, like when we almost scored or we lost 1-0 to England and we could have beat them, but like those moments, you were definitely a thought. And that's inspirational. Like you've come out and you're you, and I'm proud of you because you're not done. you're not done.
Hopefully not.
No, yeah. But how has this like road been after that World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, I think once the World Cup was over, I think everyone was kind of like on eggshells. During the World Cup because they didn't know how I was gonna handle it.
Yeah.
And we were also in Massachusetts because that's where my extended family lives.
Okay.
So we were there after the death of my grandfather. And so, it was after that kind of passed, I don't want to say it got easier because it never gets easier, but I could focus on just my recovery and not think about like the team and how you guys were doing and the emotions that were going to come with that. And I started working with Wesley Wang, who is in Maryland, who's my PT. And then I also worked with a place in Boston when I would go up to Boston. But it was hard because I tore my meniscus. So the first like 6 weeks, I want to say, I could be off on that by a week or so. I couldn't walk. I couldn't put any pressure on my leg. So that was miserable. Like you take for granted literally walking. So it's like when I would shower, my sister would have to come and like turn on the shower for me and like be outside my door just in case I fell or to hand me my brace because I had to put my brace on back immediately. Like there were so many things where I was like, this sucks. Like this just actually sucks. And I could speak for hours and hours on this process, but I will say like I have grown to love like the work and the effort that goes into this. And the huge reason for that is my PT, Wesley. He is absolutely incredible. And I don't think I would be where I am in this mindset without him. So shout out to you, Wesley. He said he was going to watch. But I got to kind of start all over. I want to say like you really, you have to learn to walk again. So you really start from zero. And I've fallen in love with the process of getting to be strong and see, how far I can push myself and what I put into my body, how that impacts my workouts and my strength, how much sleep I get a night. Like I literally get to start all over. And, like I said before about in college, how I wasn't developing because I didn't know any better. Like not necessarily I didn't know any better because people were telling me, but I was kind of like blinded. And I used to say that I was very self-aware, but I don't know if I was because I was not progressing. I was going downhill. I think the last 3 years of playing soccer were the worst of my career. If I'm being completely honest, I was just not playing well. And then the confidence would go down and, once the confidence is shot, it's game over. So I'm excited to see how I come out of this and how, once I get to start being on the field and playing, I'm really hoping and praying that this mentality continues on. But it's been so insanely hard, but especially like mentally, and that's goes without saying, but I'm grateful and I am grateful for the person that I'm becoming and hope that it continues. And I look forward to returning and working hard back on the field and being back with you, playing with you. I'm so excited.
Gosh. Finally, but
no, literally.
But no, I'm so proud of you. Like just this whole like your story. I said in the beginning, I said you have a story and people need to hear it. But no, I'm definitely proud of you and I'm just excited to see you back and at your pace and your time and God's timing. But you're good. You're special and it'll come. Everything will come.
Thank you.
Yes, but thank you for being on here. Like,
Of course.
it was a good. Did you have a good time?
I had a good time. This is my first time literally like speaking in months since getting injured, being on a podcast or speaking publicly. So publicly as if I'm famous. Claire, relax. Claire, relax. But it's nice. And, you know, I didn't cry. So I'll take that as a win. But thanks for having me on. She's amazing. You guys, thank you so much.
Of
Really,
course.
truly. This was a lot of fun.
Of course. Well, thank you. Make sure y'all tune in to the next episode. I appreciate you. Make sure you follow us on all of our platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll see you next time. Bye.